G'day guys, today Shorty and I are doing AFL Q&A episode 24 and it is the last episode of answering questions for the year. We'll obviously do a video answering the questions for this week, for next week, and that'll be it for the year.
So this is your last chance to ask some questions?
Basically, yes.
Right.
If you want some questions answered, this is the last chance. Cut through this week.
Make it clear.
Only doing the answers to the questions next week.
Oh,
we'll start us off with Tizio 100 fan / Junkyard Dog.
Sorry?
You heard me clear, mate.
Alright.
You did.
Yeah,
you're all good.
I'm
you
good,
accept that?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Come on, guys. I'm your biggest fan, and you wouldn't answer all my questions. Sad face. You could have at least eaten your favourite meal throughout the episode. That would have been awesome. Alright. What is our favourite meal? You just asked us a garbage question about bloody takeaway. What are your thoughts on the All-Australian team? I think they did a pretty good job, except I think Brett Toledo should have been on half-forward flank, except for Rioli. Yeah, Rioli didn't deserve to be in the 40. And I think he's... Oh, also, I don't know why people like Gaff so much. I honestly think he is a dud. Well, you just said right there, you're just a junkyard dog on the account. But, yeah, Gaff's a gun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably McGovern could have been in, and Nick Nat as a ruckman backup, but it's very tough. I'm just... It's so hard to take this seriously, mate. But, yeah, your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I agree with the Deledio one. I think you can have a look at our All-Australian teams, and we weren't too far off the pace on a lot of angles, but yeah, it's hard to spend time on the Gaff thing. If you can't see that he's a very talented and quality player, and he's still young and only going to get better, you just don't have a great deal of footy knowledge.
Correct. And knowing who this is just makes me take this less seriously. Who are your top 5 predictions for the Brownlow medal? Fife, Danger, Goldie, Hanbury, Mitchell. Look at the sports bet odds.
Fife, Dangerfield, Priddis, Mitchell, Hanbury. Did we do anything?
How did I not have Priddis in there?
I didn't have Priddis.
One's... Okay.
Did you look at the sports bet, mate, or not?
Yeah, I might take out Hanbury for Priddis on that note. Yeah, intriguing how he's...
Awkward.
There you go. Were you saying something before, or...?
No.
The bottom wasn't too important.
No, it's all good.
Do you see North fall to the bottom of the ladder? No. If North Melbourne somehow win the grand final, what will your reaction be? Well, they were never going to make it, unfortunately, and they haven't made it. But if they did, if they win it...
Yeah,
I'd be pretty happy.
Yeah, I'd be shocked, but yeah,
shocked but happy.
Wouldn't be angry about it. Yeah.
But they haven't. Better than the Hawks, and they've not. Do you see North fall? Do you see North fall to the bottom of the ladder in the next few years with their really old list that they have? I reckon they will be the worst team by a mile when it gets around 2019, 2020. And again, it's just another junkyard dog comment. Worst team by a mile. No one says that except for you, or says comments like that. No, they won't be. They won't be the worst team.
No, not at all. They're still, their young players are reasonable. They have Turner, Garner, Dumont. Probably leaving a few out. Terrence, Young, Ben Brown, promising forward. So
Garner and who's the other one? Turner. Turner. I always get confused between those two.
Jacobs is young, so
yeah. He's never been talked about so much until just because he tags.
Yeah, exactly
That's
right.
It's very intriguing.
He's finally found his spot.
Yeah. Your mate.
Diggo. Hey boys. G'day mate. My questions for this week are the big ones. Who will win the premiership?
You can see in our tips video, which will be up later this week, and why that is the case with Hawthorn.
I agree. Who will win the Norm Smith medal?
Sam Mitchell.
Yeah,
Who do you reckon?
I went Mitchell as well, but I felt it's always so obvious to just go Mitchell, Hodge,
Lewis.
If West Coast win, then Priddis,
Gaff.
Kennedy, Nicknett,
Yeah.
So as a left field one, given I think Hawthorn will win the flag, Roughhead I think might have a really good game, but that's just a left field one.
I'll just say Liam Shields, just for random sake.
Yeah, it's not too bad actually.
Too underrated.
How many grand finals have you guys been to? been to 07, 08 and 2011.
Zilch.
This must be something you really...
Okay, or zilch.
Must really want to get to one day.
That's why I asked about the Derby Grand Final, mate. That's okay. Yeah. I've heard it's a great atmosphere.
Yeah. Favourite ever finals match that is non-Geelong and not a Hawthorn loss? Well,
Taking away the bias out of it, isn't it?
Yeah. I think we had a similar question not too long ago.
Same question last week.
Last week.
I think
West
so.
Coast Collingwood back in 07, you informed me. Went to extra time. That just always seems to come to mind. There may have been better ones, but I just remember watching it and really enjoying it. And extra time is a pretty rare thing. So.
That's correct. I went with the 2006 Grand Final. West Coast, bit of redemption, even though they apparently had a few drugs in it. And because I hated Sydney back then. Obviously, I hate them now. And Adelaide and Collingwood in 2009, Jack Anthony, or they call him Jack before his name was changed from John. So I don't know. Fun little stat there, mate. You like being called Jack. Adelaide and Collingwood in 2009, and then kicking the winning goal. Nice. Adelaide dominated early and didn't make them pay fully, I don't think.
Nah.
Obviously not.
But yeah, thanks, Dicko. Some short, sharp ones there.
Yeah, those are the ones we like. The Kev F21. Sup, Tizio and Shorty, my mate.
G'day, mate.
How we doing, Kev? One of our best question askers, that's for sure. Who are your top 5 courageous players in the league? If you want to name and shame some wimpy non-courageous players, then please do. Well, none of the wimpy ones came to mind straight away because I think we all sort of... Travis Boak did it earlier this year where he sort of just... If he had his time again, he might have gone back a bit harder, but no, nothing comes to mind. Probably just uncontested players.
Brad Hill came to mind, I will say.
I'm thinking Mackie a little bit.
Michael Walters even came to mind. And that's not to say they're weak or not courageous, but it's just...
Friday night game.
Yeah, I mean, he just didn't quite go back hard enough. I mean, he went back, but it was a bit tentative, so...
Yeah.
But
for
it
sure.
takes a lot of courage just to get out there.
It does. Courageous though. Well, it feels like the same question is who's the best captains in the league. Because I've got Hodgie in here, and Selwood, and Jack Steeble, and Nick Reel, and Jimmy Bartell. Probably over the course of his career has been courageous, not just this season.
Yeah, nice. Luke Hodge and Selwood in there, same as Tizio. And I went with Rockcliffe just for, he's a great leader and just seems like a courageous bloke, come back from injury so quick. And on a similar vein, Tom Lonergan. I think it's very courageous to come back and play the game.
Yeah, he's probably the most courageous in the league.
People forget how close he came to dying, really.
Mm.
And along your captain's line, I went Kellen Ward was another guy just, when I was thinking about the teams, he just popped out. So
Yeah. Captain courageous. Best left footer and right footer. He likes these ones. It was a tough one. Because there's players that we know can have a lethal foot, but doesn't mean they're effective.
Yeah, I quickly locked in Brendan Goddard, actually. I think...
B-Jack.
Yeah, he's just... And like you said, sometimes he will turn it over, but he's a very daring kick and takes some very high-risk kicks on. So
exactly.
That underlines how good a kicker he is. He backs himself. But how about you for the right boot?
The right boot, Sam Mitchell... apparently he was a left footer as a junior and changed to a right footer, but I think predominantly he kicks on his right foot, so we'll go with that. And I had Boomer Harvey as well. I reckon he's one of the best kicks over and around 15 metres. Rarely hits a target, and he's the man you want kicking inside the 50.
Yeah, and the left foot was a tricky one.
It was.
There's so many left footers, but yeah.
They're generally pretty good.
Yeah. I went with Taylor Giray. Pretty random, but... I was just thinking Hawthorn, great kicks, and they've got a lot in their team with that left foot. And Giray, I just rarely see him miss a target. And, I remember he had that kick
to rough head.
Yeah, the rough head on the Friday. It's just beautiful, and he kicked that lovely goal. So, an underrated class kick.
Yeah, 2 perfect kicks in a row. I went with Michael Walters and Matty Suckling. So, bit of Friday night revisit. Walters will generally, if he's running into goal within the 30 metres, he'll put it through straight as a dart, low as anything, and it's great. Daisy cuts in the air. And he'll often play on, if he takes the mark in the midfield on the wing, he'll play on and take that kick through the corridor to a man running in space, generally. And he normally doesn't miss those, so I think that's a credit to him. And Matty Suckling as well. you saw his goal on Friday night, even though he played on after the siren. But he's the man you want to handball it to within 60 metres, and
Yeah.
he has been down at times this year with his kicking. But I think in a general sense, he's the man you want kicking the ball.
Yep. Fair call, mate.
Alright, who will be the leading Brownlow vote getters at each club, or second best at obvious ones like Crows, Freo North? Well, I can give you the answer by going to sports bet, but I've done it anyway for you, mate. If you just go to betting markets and stuff, they'll show every club, and then you won't need me to list it out unless you're just doing it for fun.
Maybe just wants your individual opinion, mate.
Great. Scotty Thompson. I'm just going to read the last names. Thompson, Beams, Cripps, Pendles, Berry, Heppel, Mundy, Selwood, Ward, Lynch, Mitchell, Vince, Higgins, Gray, Martin, Armitage, Hanbury, Prittis. Well, he's an obvious one, so Gaff and Bontempelli.
Good stuff, mate. Good stuff.
It was very hard for the Dogs. It was probably the hardest one.
Yeah.
And I think for West Coast or... no, it wasn't for West Coast. Richmond. They were all exactly the same.
Yeah.
Koch and Delidio and Martin, all 265, which is
Okay.
very rare.
Very tough to pick them, but... Alright, that's enough for Kev. Thanks, mate.
Good on
Good
you.
stuff. Takes the 3 votes again, I think, this week.
Yeah, you're putting your hand up, that's for sure. Yeah, you've got the 3 votes easily.
And no ace. Old mate.
Okay, could be another junkyard dog.
Ooh, he's throwing around. Are you seriously going to only answer boring questions? If these videos get boring, I'm so done with asking questions. Answer all of these. Don't worry about the video length. Well, we run the show, mate, so we'll decide which ones we do and don't answer.
And we don't lose sleep whether or not you ask questions. So
And I think you have a philosophy on how much time we spend on the questions, in regards to...
represents, yeah.
You know,
If you ask quality questions, we'll give you quality time. If you don't, if you give us terrible questions, we'll give you terrible time.
Yeah, fair call. First up, do you think Bruce McAvaney's...
That counts for everyone, not just you.
Oh, yeah, general rules. Bruce McAvaney's gay for thinking cereal is delicious. I don't think so.
No, he's passionate about anything. Like,
Yeah.
well, when we were watching something about a bit of a documentary on some boxer, and he's like,
Fennec.
he wanted to just hold his hands or just, we'll just have a look at your hands for a moment.
He's just touchy-feely guy.
He's just a passionate man.
Yeah, he is. Where is Dennis Committee from? He sounds American. WA, I believe.
Well, that's where he's born, and there's blood, a bit of Italian with his dad, so take that as you will.
Does have a unique voice, though.
Yeah, I know. I can't figure it out.
Yeah. What do you think Cyril Rioli's favourite food is? I think it's sausage Rioli's.
Oh.
I didn't mind that one. That was pretty good.
Ravioli.
Yeah,
just to incorporate his name.
Yeah, no, good stuff, mate. Would you rather win 10 Brownlow medals or a VFL premiership?
I think this is one of the easiest questions about.
Yeah.
No one's ever won 10 Brownlows. So.
No, surely, 10 Brownlows for sure. And
Yeah.
VFL premiership would be dandy, but...
Who hasn't won a VFL? Well, there's lots that hasn't, but...
Now you.
Yeah, your last question's irrelevant, so not answering that one. Codmaster. Let's have a look.
I think these are pretty short and sharp.
Yeah, no, I just feel like junkyard dogs behind it all. I was a Fremantle supporter last night that was leaning over the fence yelling at Luke Bruce and got in trouble off the security guard. Lol. Yeah, I think lol sums that up.
Can't say we'll believe that one. But...
Yeah, no, I'll take that one with a grain of salt. Have you ever been kicked out of a stadium at an AFL game? You get in the biffs all the time, don't you?
No, mate.
What about that time you had to go with that lady?
No, I had a bit of a crack at it, but Dad has got in a bit of an altercation.
Are you kidding me?
No, seriously.
Like a bit of a biff on, like a bit of a punch.
The bloke actually came from a road back and 7 seats across just to get up in his grill. It was actually quite intense. Yeah.
Mate, I need to talk about this off air.
Yeah, off air we'll cover it. I can't believe I never said it, but there you go.
Intriguing. Thanks for asking the question then. Good on you. Retrieval queues there are plenty. Have you... And no, I've not. I don't know if I said I hadn't. Have you ever ran onto the field during a game of footy? I've ran onto the field during local AFL games before. Well, that's a bit silly, but... I don't think I have, not even as a goal umpire.
Nah.
No.
I have not.
Okay, no. Short and
Short
sharp.
and simple.
Have you ever been in a fight with any AFL players before? I got into a fight with Tom Hawkins. Again.
I don't even believe that.
No, and I don't believe it. Okay, next up, mate.
Sorry, boss. That is weird.
It's just too unlikely to be the case.
Darth Muse. Oh, a football-related question. Who'd have thought?
Is that what this is about?
This stuff, I feel we actually don't talk about, players very often aside from the obvious prediction, but would Chris Yarran be a good pickup for the Tigers? I saw some highlights on YouTube. He's been linked to us all year. He has speed, which I think we need.
Nice rhyme there. Speed we need.
True. I reckon he would be a very good pickup. He comes with a bit of risk factor, but I reckon he's definitely worth that risk. I reckon if you put him off that half back line, bit of pace, breakaway speed, he's a great ball user, and he needs a change of scenery. He just needs to snap out of it, realise that, if he's not smart enough, he will lose his AFL career, and I think Richmond could be a decent fit.
He's not the brightest, is he?
No, I wouldn't have thought so.
I guess so, but I'd be buyer beware for sure.
Yeah.
Like, you just don't quite know what you're going to get, but it has been proven that players from Carlton gone to other clubs have almost succeeded exponentially. So you just have to look at Eddie Betts and Jared Waite and who else?
Jeff Garlett.
Jeff Garlett, yeah, that's the other one I was thinking of. So, and they've all been very good at their respective clubs now. So you can imagine the same will happen. Indictment on Carlton, unfortunately.
Yeah, exactly why they can't ask for a priority pick.
But no, certainly I think in that sense he'd be great. And Richmond's culture is steadily improving, so I think he'd be a good fit.
Yeah.
Batchahuli as well.
Yeah.
GFC Mitch. I have just checked the Essendon Best and Fairest, and Sean McKernan has ended up in 10th place. In Geelong's point of view, it's like Billy Smets coming 10th in our Best and Fairest. Would you be happy with that?
Strange question.
I don't really understand why that question matters. I'm not having a go at you, mate, but McKernan didn't play much footy over the year, and Essendon had some reasonable players, so I guess it's not bad that he finished out. I don't know what to think.
More of a reflection that maybe Essendon don't bat that deep, really. I suppose.
Okay, yeah, I'm not quite sure what his whole point is. Maybe
know.
you've got it, but maybe you can tell us what your point is.
I mean, McKernan wasn't that bad.
No, he was okay. I mean, he got smashed by Ruckman, but I think he battled with the limitations he's got.
Yeah.
And with what the team's got.
Yeah, and filled a role they need to fill, and maybe that earned him some coaches' votes.
Yeah, for sure. Who knows, but Billy Smets, top 10, yeah. Well, we don't bet that deep either. So,
no,
and
not this year,
and
maybe
he's been
one
injured.
year.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Next one.
From Jay, good vid guys. Don't mind if your videos are an hour or so long, but half were homo questions before. I feel like you've mentioned that before, but appreciate the support, mate, and you do dish up some good questions. Yes, which is good.
Just on that, yeah, most of them can be pretty homo or terrible. We try and keep it. If we had it our way, we'd have it 20 minutes. Like,
yeah,
that's just the reality. But the reality is, we get asked questions that exceed the time limits.
Yeah, we're working on it.
Yeah, well, we've just minimised the questions we're going to answer. So
yeah,
there we go. Go for it, mate.
Thanks, mate. Who in the top 8 this year drops out of the 8 next year, and who goes in?
Such a damn tough question.
Very tough question.
It's just the ladder prediction question all over again.
Yeah, but it really makes you think because, in the moment, it's hard to see many sides going out of the 8, but I did find a couple.
I found a couple too, but even still, I'm not fully sold on.
Do you want to hear mine first? Or?
Yeah, go for it.
Well, I was at Adelaide. I reckon they're going to drop out.
Alright.
And a lot of people will disagree with me, but I really think the events of this year will catch up with them. I don't know who's going to be coaching them, really. Do we know who could be? That Pike guy, maybe?
Yeah, Pike is the media speak at the moment.
Dangerfield's going, massive loss, so... I
didn't even factor that in. Yeah.
So I think they may drop out, and almost the flip side of that, I reckon we may jump in. I mean, it's ironic, but I think if we can get Henderson, Selwood, Dangerfield, and a bit of luck with some injuries, and hopefully a Menzel back and a few other guys, then we only just missed out this year. We'll have an easier draw. I feel, no bias, that we can jump in maybe to 8th or 7th. And Fremantle, maybe, a big maybe, but I just think if McFarlane went and Pavlich went,
few tiles.
Yeah, and, you know.
I can't see him dropping that far, but I can see why you say that maybe.
Yeah, I put it in the maybe category. On the proviso, if they left, that's massive out of their spine, especially Pavlich, because then they'd struggle to find 2 key forwards, let alone if he went.
They'll definitely need McCarthy, and I don't think McCarthy's the number one forward.
And the Giants are knocking down the door, I would think, if they get a good run at it. So, yeah.
Nice, mate. Well, I look at mine. I think, North Melbourne and the Dogs.
The Doggies, eh? Okay.
They'll have a tougher draw. I reckon they had a very, very generous draw this year. But again, I just can't see either of those teams going out of the 8. But who I could see going in, probably 4 teams. But the 2 that stood out to me was us, Geelong, and Port Adelaide.
Mm-hmm.
I think Port Adelaide should, and most definitely should, make it. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, the 8 next year is going to be the toughest it's ever been. I think it's only going to get tougher each year.
Which I reckon's great. Makes it a very, a privilege to play finals footy. So
Yeah, you will earn your spot.
Yeah, definitely.
Great question.
Who has a better legacy since 2007, Hawthorn or Geelong?
This question.
Yeah, well, I personally think it'll be decided on Saturday, but what do you reckon?
Yeah, I think you could be on the money there. Hawthorn fans will say they've had a better run, and the Geelong fans will say they've had a better run.
Yeah.
I can put it simply like that, but if Hawthorn win the flag, then undisputably their run's been better. I mean, our run sort of ended in 2011, sort of, so we haven't been too much there around the mark in the last 4 years. But we won 100 out of 120 games between 2007 and 2011. Never been done. But no one cares about records.
And we hold a lot.
And we've made so many records, interstate records, mate. I might get you to answer that part of it.
Yeah, well, most consecutive interstate wins. To do with scoring, we got heaps in the top 5, I think.
Record margin in the grand final.
All Australian players.
Yeah, 9 in 2007.
So.
But it doesn't stand up, unfortunately, because the average fan just like, oh, well, we've won 16 premierships, so we're better.
Yeah.
So it just depends on the market you're talking to, I guess.
Yeah, and just to finish off on what you said, I think, you can't compare legacies or eras. I mean, sometimes they're clear cut, but at the moment it's very tough to split, and like you said, it'll just be decided by your personal bias, whether you barrack for one, dislike another.
Yeah, absolutely.
And but if Hawthorn win the flag, then yeah, you couldn't argue they would be the clear dominant team of the modern era.
Absolutely, mate.
If Freo
that was probably the best question of the day, nearly.
Yeah. Potentially rivalling the Kev for the 3 votes now.
Yeah.
If Freo don't win a premiership and Ross Lyon walks out and becomes available, would you want your club to chase his signature? I know you like Ross.
It's a good question, but no, I wouldn't.
Oh, interesting.
No, unfortunately, the way he plays and just doesn't stack up when it counts, I guess, and even in a general sense, Freo are like a robot at times. Like if something goes a little bit wrong, they almost just get stuck, like in an endless loop.
Yeah.
And you just sort of know what you're going to get at times. But for his win-loss ratio and for the way he can suffocate teams, I think is fantastic. And the way he can change players, and Michael Walters is a good case study for that one. I think he's a fantastic coach, but I don't think he's the type of coach seemingly that can win a flag. But again, he's had tough problems up forward. Like he's tried to get Travis Cloke and Lance Franklin and Tom Hawkins and all that kind of stuff. Like, if he has them, does it change them? It might change a little bit for sure, because it's a lot. If we only have like a Josh Walker or a Tom Hawkins by themselves and no one else, basically, makes it pretty tough for us. And we had J-Pod and Cam Mooney alongside Nathan Ablett at times, and you really do need sort of 2 keys, and they've only had one for so many years.
Yeah, exactly.
But I can see why, and I would also like him. So, but yeah, I wouldn't chase his signature.
No, neither would I. You've pretty much summed it up there. But I think, look, if he again failed at another club and he's nearly climbed the mountain so many times, but just fallen off at that final hurdle or the second final. So, yeah, I just don't think you'd really chase after him. You might, if he was available and reinvented himself, you might think about it if nothing else was available. But
yeah,
you wouldn't, just chase after him and beg him to come pay big bucks, so to speak.
Exactly. Yeah, you wouldn't. Yeah, you wouldn't say no if he was knocking on the door. But Because it's an interesting one. I reckon Ross Lyon's a better coach than Chris Scott, but where we're at and the way we play does not suit how Ross would fit into the culture almost, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It depends where your club's at.
Yeah, good mate. Good stuff. Well, thanks for the questions, pal. Now we'll throw to Tice, who has his old mate.
Junkyard Dog. I'm not answering any questions, so go for it, mate. You've just been an idiot, so... Yeah.
Classic. Why do you overrate Andrew Gaff? We don't overrate him, we rate him. He's a class player. You underrate him.
Simple, that's all I would have said.
Yeah. 2, do you think Lindsay Thomas is a flog? I don't particularly like Lindsay, but I don't think he's a flog. How many votes will Nat Fyfe get in the Brownlow? I reckon we'll get close to 35. 25 to 30. Yeah, I mean, I think now I look hindsight, maybe generous to say 21 to 30. I reckon, yeah, mid to high 20s. Who will win the North Smith medal? Can only pick out a Hawthorn players because they will absolutely smash the 3 teams that are still in finals. We already answered that one early in the video. I don't know if you knew or not, but sus back to that. I think Mitchell was the resounding answer.
Yep.
Do you think the interstate teams should be kicked out of the AFL and there should be a new interstate league? Not at all. It's the AFL.
The dumbest thing I've ever heard.
It's a national comp.
You're
It's
an
great
idiot.
for what it is. I mean, I don't know if you hate interstate sides for some reason, but yeah, bad call.
Yeah, just terrible. Yeah. Anthony Grillo. I don't quite get what you mean here, mate. What trade picks would you consider for Geelong? I'm sorry, I don't really know what you mean.
Yeah, not too sure, mate.
Do you mean for Dangerfield? If so, you mean it's just such a vague question. It just holds no meaning or relevance to what you could mean.
Yeah, I love talking about the draft and picks and things, so definitely...
yeah, if you had a bit more criteria to work with.
Yeah, no.
If you're talking about Dangerfield, it'll probably be a first round pick this year and maybe one next year. A
Seems
future
to
one.
be the talk, doesn't it?
Yeah, I don't know what you're asking though, sorry.
Shall I read out the last one?
Yeah, well, your turn, mate.
Oh, it is too. Tizio 100 girlfriend. I'm starting to think Shorty is a bit of an arsehole.
Why are you like that, mate?
It's just natural, mate. He just always ignores me and answers my questions I gave him last week. Didn't answer my questions last week. Shorty, can you answer those questions you didn't answer last week? No.
They got to be relevant.
Just because it's 7 days later doesn't mean I'm going to answer them now. You can ask me that again next week, I still won't answer them.
Ask
Cheers
relevant.
for the feedback. Yeah.
Ask relevant, good questions, and we'll give you a good time.
Yeah, good stuff, mate. Thanks for that.
Good time on the answer.
Yeah.
Not good time outside of the video. No worries, mate. No, you did a good job.
And one more video to go on the Q&A.
Yeah, we'll be happy to have a break.
Yeah, but it's been a success, which is nice, which we'll probably touch
Hopefully.
on more next week. But
Hopefully, yeah. Well,
yeah, you live and learn with certain things.
Sometimes. Sometimes people don't learn.
Crypticness.
No one in particular. Yeah. Well, thanks for sticking around, guys. This is the last week of us asking questions. Well, you asking questions. So the questions you ask this week will be answered next week, and that's it. We're not answering anymore until next year. So get your best ones. Save your best for last. Ask some quality ones. Doesn't have to be 20 questions. Because if you ask 20, we're not going to answer all of them. Just ask a couple of good ones. Quality over quantity, guys. Is that right, mate?
I can't add any more, mate. You've summed it up nicely. I
Thank
agree.
you very much. Yeah, you can't disagree. Alright, thanks for sticking around, guys. Don't forget to like the video, share it around to your mates, and subscribe as well. That'll be fantastic. We'll catch you all next week for the last episode. See you guys.